There we go. Hello. Today is December 1st, 2021, and we're here to do another MAAT session. Actually, it's me doing the MAAT session. Vida is not able to be here this evening, but we still have Kate and Josiane Mapplebeck is joining us, and I'm so excited to talk and learn from her. And she's going to play her fiddle, and hopefully it won't pull on my heartstrings too much and make me cry. Okay, so today, yes, I almost forgot to do the diversity welcome again. And Vida's not here to remind me. Kate. So my name is Margaret Major, and I am a registered counseling therapist here at the After Trauma Empowerment Network in Shubenacadie, Nova Scotia. Kate Matthews is behind the scenes. She's right outside that door, and she's our technical director. She kind of monitors everything behind the scenes while we do the show. And as I mentioned, we are joined with Josiane Mapplebeck. I keep wanting to say Josiane's name in a different way, and I'll explain later why. I explained it to Kate, but I'll talk about that in a little bit. So first, we're going to do the diversity welcome, and then we'll talk about a couple of things going on in our world today, December 1st, and then we'll get to Josiane and have a great conversation. Okay. So I'd like to welcome all women, men, transgender, and other identified individuals here today. I welcome everyone here who is a mother, father, sister, brother, auntie, uncle, cousin, son, daughter, grandmother, or grandfather. Welcome. I welcome people of all races, tribes, and descents. I welcome your bodies, your minds, and your energy. I welcome survivors and those who support them. I welcome all people single, married, partnered, dating, celibate, or involved in whatever sort of relationship is right for you. I welcome gay, lesbian, bisexual, heterosexual, queer, two-spirited, asexual, and others for whom none of the current labels fit. I welcome your emotions, your joy, your bliss, anger, disappointment, sadness, frustration, all of your emotions. Welcome. I welcome everyone's special way of understanding and knowing the world. Everyone's wisdom, whether it is education that has been learned in schools, colleges, universities, and/or the deep and profound school of life. I welcome those living with chronic medical conditions, visible and invisible. I welcome mystics, seekers, and believers of all kinds. I welcome people who identify as activists, community leaders, group members, musicians, artists, and those who don't. And finally, I'd like to welcome the ancestors who lived in this land where we are now. Welcome the spirits of Mi'kmaq, the natives who lived in this land before the Europeans came. I'd like to acknowledge them and invite their spirit to this space. Everyone, welcome. And I want to say a big thank you. This is probably one of the largest audience we've had since we've started. It's so wonderful that all of you are taking time out of your day to spend a little bit of time with us, and I'm sure there'll be a laugh or two. And if you have any questions or comments you want to throw out there, just hit the chat button down at the bottom. And I also want to express our heartfelt thanks and gratitude to the Mental Health Foundation of Nova Scotia for their financial support and funding for Project MAAT. we're very grateful to have their support. So just a note on the Mindfulness Calendars. I think it was a couple of weeks ago, we first announced that our Mindfulness Calendars are in, and it's been quite amazing. We have maybe 7 left out of our order available, and we had ordered 100, and they've just been going, and we're going to have to order a second batch. So just in case somebody didn't get a calendar, please know that there's going to be another batch on the way. And all the funds that are raised from the Mindfulness Calendar, they go towards getting resources here at the After Trauma Empowerment Network. Books, workbooks, handouts, gas cards for clients who have transportation barriers. There's just so many different outlets for financial reasons in a nonprofit. So another fundraiser that we have going on right now, and I tried to bring up the pictures so that I could show some of the items that we have, but we're having an online auction on Facebook, December 5th to the 12th. We don't have a link for that yet. We're probably going to get that up and running Saturday or Sunday, and then it will be up for a week. And I have been absolutely overwhelmed this week with the support that we have received from community members, from artists, local businesses, local organizations, people just donating what they can to show their support for this resource in this community. Well, I think every community needs a resource that assists people who've experienced trauma. So one item I would like to show. So this is Twisted Wireworks. And this is like a little, she's so beautiful. And she's made out of wire. Twisted Wireworks. So this is a beautiful donation that we received. And this little angel or fairy, I'm not quite sure how to reference her. She has wings, but she's going to be in our online auction, so we can put a bid in. We've got all of the artwork from our Mindfulness Calendar. Those original pieces will also be going up for sale on the online auction. We've received some photographs, some gift certificates for local businesses, and we are still collecting donations up until Saturday. So we might next week, hopefully I'll be able to show pictures of all our auction items, and I will review those next week. And just a reminder too that next week we have Sean Leonard, Spirit Talker. He's going to be joining us next week, and we'll hear about his amazing journey. So today, I mentioned, is December 1st, and today is recognized as World AIDS Day. I just want to bring up and again, be patient with me on this technology screen share. There is some numbers on this page. So the theme, this is the World Health Organization's webpage for World AIDS Day 2021. The theme this year is End Inequalities and End AIDS. There's still a lot of barriers for people trying to access treatment. And in the last few decades, there has been just leaps in regards to treatment for people living with HIV-related causes. And there's still no cure. And COVID has complicated many, many things in our world. And of course, it has also complicated HIV and AIDS. 37 million people, and this stat is from 2020, estimated number of people living with HIV, 37 million. So last year, 680,000 people died from HIV-related causes. And 1.5 million people were newly infected. Those are just incredible numbers. So on this website as well, on the World Health Organization's website, they have campaign materials, top messages, some statistics, some facts. Like all topics in our world, we need far more education and awareness about this issue, like all things. And I know if Vida was here, Vida would have a lot more to say about this particular topic. So I just wanted to bring awareness to that. A lot of people are not aware that today's World AIDS Day. So if you have some time, please explore this website or just Google and learn something that you didn't know. I didn't know those numbers this morning when I got up. And quite shocking. Okay, so I need to move on. Okay. Hope everybody's doing good tonight. It was a bit chilly this morning, but now it's a lovely 1st of December day. We'll say it that way. So I think what we'll do, because I'm just I was going to talk about the Toronto Maple Leafs for a minute because they're doing so awesome. And there's a Toronto game on tonight. Puck drop is around 8:30. Well, that's when the game starts, and you know, logistics and all that. Go Leafs, go. So now I would like to introduce our guest. So happy, thrilled, and honored that this person is able to. There's Josiane, Dr. Josiane Mapplebeck. I'm gonna explain for a second why I keep at the end of your name, why I say it the way I do.
Okay.
Have you ever heard of Hasselback potatoes?
Hasselback potato? No, I have not.
So these are potatoes that you slice, not all the way through, and you bake them in the oven, and then you put cheese, cheddar cheese.
I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah.
And when I first saw your last name, I said it as if I was, because when I say Hasselback, I go Hasselback. Like, and that's why when I say your name, I mix it up with Hasselback. So that's just my funny for today. I apologize if I do mispronounce your last name, but please know there's no offense intended. It's because I've got Hasselbacks going through my head.
If that's what you think of when you hear my name, I think that's a pretty good thing. Because that sounds delicious. So it's really lovely to be here, Margaret. Thank you so much for having me. I'm really excited. And that was a really beautiful and important introduction.
Thank you.
Everything you were talking about is so important.
I know, and we have so many topics on the show. Like we could just spend weeks on these topics, like any topic at all. Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah, there's so much breadth of depth that we could go in on those things. So
yes.
Yeah.
So how are you doing in your world these days? I know that you're a student, and that can get pretty heavy.
I am a student, yeah. So I'm a student at Acadia University right now. I'm doing my Master's of Education in Counseling. As you mentioned, I am a doctor, but I have a PhD in neuroscience. So I was working in neuroscience research for a long time, and I went back to school to get a master's degree because I really wanted to become a therapist, and eventually one day integrate my science and my therapy together. So I'm at the end of my semester right now, which means everything is happening all at once. And but also a lot of opportunity for growth because I'm doing practice clients now and really getting more into the reality of what it means to be a therapist. So
Yeah.
lots to do, but I'm really enjoying it. So
I know my time at Acadia, because I did the counseling program at Acadia as well, and the whole entire experience was one of the most phenomenal experiences of my life.
Yeah.
The learning and the growth, it's profound.
Yeah, I cannot speak more highly of the program. It really has surpassed all of my expectations. And I was reflecting on this the other day. This is my 10th year in having the privilege of being a student, a postgraduate student. And it's one of the best academic experiences I've ever had. And just in particular, meeting all the people, my cohort, seeing the different, so many different backgrounds coming together for the shared purpose of becoming therapists, and the level of support I've received from them and faculty has just been absolutely phenomenal. So I love it. It is amazing.
It is. It is. And just out of curiosity, do you happen to know like the type of, I guess, counseling or therapy area that you might want to specialize in, or have you kind of thought about that part?
I'm keeping my mind open to what ends up feeling right for me as I move forward in this career. But my research background, I worked a long time in chronic pain research. So that's an area that really interests me, working with people with disability or chronic illness, as well as working in the LGBTQ plus community is something that I'm really interested in being involved in. But beyond that, I just want to see how I experience the world of therapy and what I encounter as I go on in this beautiful career. And but I do know that I want to integrate some level of music therapy into my work and art-based approaches. So I can't speak to exactly what population I will work with, but I know that I definitely want to be really in that realm of arts-based and music as well.
Yeah, well, that's kind of a great way to kind of go into that direction. Thank you. So yes, on top of being a student and having a doctorate in neuroscience, you've also invested a great deal of time into learning, I believe it's 8 instruments.
Yes, in various levels of capability, but
that's incredible.
Well, I absolutely love it. And I had the great privilege of being a child and being able to take music lessons starting from a really young age. And then I actually grew up in outside of Truro, Nova Scotia. So I was also involved in the bands at CC. And so music's always really been part of my life. And then, moving into adulthood, I started exploring it in a lot of different ways that very, very different from my childhood experience, but it's still one of my favorite things in the world. And I spend a lot of time exploring it and thinking about the different ways it can be used in my personal life and enriching my life, but also the lives of others.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's I know, like with music, there's so much mood that can be attached to it and energy. Is there, like, if you're feeling in a particular mood or mode, does that affect which instrument you might kind of be pulled or gravitated towards on a particular day?
Yeah, absolutely. That's a really great question. Very much so. My main instrument that I play, and I typically, if I'm playing with bands, is actually piano. And so that's the instrument that I go back to when I feel like I need a sense of safety and calm within myself. So kind of landing in that place that I'm the most familiar with. But for example, violin,
Yes.
I'm holding right now. I'll often use that if I have a lot of energy because it's a very energetic instrument. And it's also something that I associate with experiencing a lot of other people because it's violin. I find it really creates emotion, or fiddle creates emotion and excitement when you play it. And it's often something that I'll do when I'm in a community setting or at a party or something like that. I used to live in Thailand, and there I actually used to play fiddle with a circus performer, and we would actually do jams together where he would juggle juggling pins, and I would play violin along with him, and we would follow each other. So
Wow.
yeah, so I find there's an instrument for every occasion in my life. Those are two examples, but yeah, I have very different relationships with each one. So, and it's very beautiful in that way.
And I think too that you've learned different instruments from around the world, or am I wrong in that?
I mostly play, I guess would you be consider them more Western culture instruments,
Okay.
so like guitar, bass, fiddle, piano. But I have had the great opportunity while I was living in Thailand to be taught local Thai music from some individuals that I was playing in a band with, and in particular, I was playing with a guy. His name was Mr. Blue, and he would teach me some traditional Thai songs, and he would play it on a recorder type instrument, and then I would play it on piano, and then we would create these beautiful interactions of a very different style of music, but putting it onto an instrument that I was more familiar with.
Wow. Would you like to just play a little piece?
Yeah, I would love to. So I will say that one aspect of music that I like the most is I actually just like creating or improvisation. So creating music that's never existed before and will never exist again. And that's one of my favorite ways of interacting with music. And I was actually in an improv band in Toronto for 5 years. And so what I'll play right now is just something that I'll make up. And I think the reason I like doing that is because it allows me to delve into myself, my own energy, my own emotions, and to not have to follow any framework that I believe has to be done. And it's allowed me to interact with music, I think, in a more freeing way.
Yeah.
So I will do that, and who knows what will happen. So
Gave me goosebumps with something that you said there. I might come back to. Oh,
Thank you.
oh, I was standing on a cliff, with, the ocean breeze just cleansing, and oh,
Yeah, and I think that's one of my favorite parts about music is that
I think your volume, something happened to your volume. I wonder, let me see. Maybe I'll try muting and unmute. Is that better? No.
Can anyone else hear me?
I don't know what happened. Yeah, the volume's just really low. I wonder, do you happen to have like a microphone or earbuds that have a mic? Okay. Never had that happen before. Hopefully, Kate, we can fix it. Oh, that was beautiful. And Kevin commented too. Thought it was wonderful. Thank you, Kevin. Was wonderful. Oh, I could just listen to that all night. And I did, I don't know, probably 15 years ago, I bought myself a fiddle and learned, what's the, I can't even think of the song. It's a child's nursery rhyme and I can't think of it. I wonder. Should I? Maybe so. Yeah. Okay. Please do. Come back. Max just stared at the computer. Oh, Max. Max is a big, handsome kitty cat. Yes. So yes, I did attempt to learn how to play violin, but that just wasn't very successful. Okay, you're there, but it's kind of low, but that's okay. Let me turn my volume up here.
I wonder if my violin
there
microphone.
There you go.
Very bizarre. Well, the beauties of technology. So
I know.
Yeah.
Oh, that was so beautiful. And something that you said that gave me goosebumps, Josiane, was you like to create things that haven't been created, and then you just let it go.
Yeah.
Like, to me, that, and it gave me goosebumps again when I just said it to you, because it's like, what an amazing practice in just our daily living.
Yeah.
Be able to, not have to cling and hold on and keep it the same, to just trust and to let it go. Like, that's so powerful.
Yeah, it definitely, I think learning to approach music in that way, which I didn't always have growing up, because I was taught in classical systems, which are a beautiful way of creating music, but it's a bit more regimented. And so in learning that kind of lesson, I really felt like it actually did apply to so many different parts of my life, in this idea of it's there and then it's not, and to not be sad about that, and perhaps find a whole lot of joy in that. And also releasing the idea of that something needs to be perfect in order to be beautiful. Because when you create music and when you do improvisation with music, I mean, it's really easy to make mistakes. It's not always going to be perfect. Sometimes it doesn't sound very good. Sometimes it sounds amazing. But all of those things can give you joy. So that's one of the reasons I love it so much.
Yeah. what would you say to somebody who let's say heard you playing the violin just now, and they're like, oh, I can't do that. It's so, and they don't necessarily have that courage or confidence to even try. Yeah. What would you say to somebody thinking like that?
Well, I actually hear that a lot. Sorry, I just dropped something. I hear that a lot from people, and I think the number one thing is I'm not a musician. I can't play music. And I think that I really like trying to challenge that idea when I'm told that by someone, because I think everyone can create music. And that's what I would tell them, is that everyone can create music, and it can bring you joy no matter what it is. But what I found is that often in our society, that people think you have to be like the artist, you have to be the musician in order to have a right to create this art or this music. And I think that really has taken away some of the power of music in our community, because I think we all should just be together creating music all the time. And I think that was a major way that we used to interact as humans in our communities, and doesn't really happen as much now. So yeah, what I would say to them would be, you can, and we can do it together, and it's going to be a little bit scary, and you're probably going to have a lot of different emotions that won't all be easy, but great things can come out of it, and a lot of self-exploration can come out of it. And if you want me to be there for you, I can be there for you in that process.
Yeah, it's powerful stuff.
Yeah. And it's something I would really love to do in my future practice. I think particularly with things like percussion, instruments are really great for really anyone. Anyone can use some sort of percussion instrument, or even just tap their foot, or even just if that's not accessible to them, to move a little bit, even nodding your head can contribute to that experience. So I'm really excited to learn more about how to integrate that in my practice, as I still don't know a lot about it. But I have spent a lot of time facilitating like jam sessions in communities, and bringing people together to like create music, and to mostly surrounding improvisation, by getting big groups of people together and just throwing instruments at them and seeing what happens. So.
Well, we would welcome you anytime to our office space here in Shuby. Anytime you want to facilitate a jam, you just let Biden and I know, and you come and hand everybody an instrument, and we'd absolutely be.
I would absolutely.
Oh, yeah. No worries. We're gonna have a jam sometime.
Yes, anytime. I am always looking for any kind of way of interacting in music, and every experience just is so unique within itself, and I love them all. So
yeah. And a question that keeps bouncing around in my brain, so I thought I might as well throw it out there. Your background in neuroscience, has that, how do I even ask it? Because it's like, we know the therapeutic benefits and the power of music. Do you, when you were doing your PhD, was there any kind of research or anything that you did in that capacity, like in looking at music and the brain?
In my own personal research, no. When I did my undergrad at McGill University, and we actually, my laboratory that I was working in was actually above a music and neuroscience laboratory. So I didn't actually work in it, but I did talk on occasion to some of the people who were in that area, and it's such I think a rich area of research, and one that is growing. And I would love to, I think one day, combine all of these different life journeys that I've had into, doing research in how music and art relates in the counseling practice, and specifically, but I haven't had the pleasure of doing much in that domain yet, but one day I know that will happen.
Well, you've been busy working on a PhD and now you're doing a master's degree. So
yeah, well, I love education, so
I do too. I miss the smell of when I did my honors degree in psych, I used to go and hang out in the philosophy department, and the books had a smell like, and I sometimes I miss the smell of the philosophy department. As odd as that might sound to some people.
That's beautiful. I love that.
Oh, I have so one of the people that's watching tonight, Kevin Sibley, Dr. Kevin Sibley. I was a faculty member with both Josiane's parents at NSAC. So wonderful to see how her adult life is progressing.
Fabulous. Yeah.
What a small world.
Small world. Yeah. Both my parents worked at the NSCC for I think 30 years or so.
Wow.
But that's beautiful, Kevin. I'll definitely mention that we had this interaction to them. I saw them a couple days ago. It's been lovely living back in Nova Scotia, because I actually haven't been here since I was 18. And well, I mean, I've come back to visit, but this is the first time I've lived here since I was a kid. And I moved from Thailand back here only a couple of months ago for this program.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, so it's been beautiful to reconnect with this amazing province, coming from, having lived all the things that I've lived in the last couple of decades. I don't age myself here, but it's been beautiful to connect with this land, and also to see how it's changed, and to also reconnect with my family as well, and to spend time on their farm, which is such a beautiful thing. I'm so thankful for.
Do you have like a forum where you share your music, like Spotify or a Facebook page or YouTube page?
Not currently. I actually did just join a band in the Halifax region. So I'm playing in a band called Normaler, but we are probably going to play a show sometime in the new year. So
what kind of band? Like, is it like a jazzy kind of improv, or?
This one actually is kind of like a punk band, which is very outside anything I've done before. But I really, honestly, I just like trying new things. So I've played in like improvisational funk bands. I've played in an R&B band. I've played with a couple rappers. So I was like, this time, okay, I'm gonna be in a punk band. Why not?
Sure.
So I am playing actually violin in this band, and also piano, which is super fun, and I'm really enjoying it, because they play in very weird time signatures, and they're amazing people, and the music is really interesting, and quite a departure from my past experiences. So I get to learn so much, which I really appreciate.
I'm very intrigued to hear this. Yes.
Well, I'll let you know when we're having a show, and
yes, definitely
come and experience it.
This happens to me sometimes. I'll have something right there, and then it just goes pink.
I think it happens to all of us, Margaret.
And the time change, it was Clyde and I were both doing it that day.
Yeah.
What's going on?
So a massive shift. Yeah.
Is there anything that you would like to share, like, because there's people watching right now, and there'll be people that'll check it out on our YouTube channel. It's just anything that you would like to, because it's kind of like the floor is yours. And
thank you, Margaret. I would just say, if you're thinking of wanting to be involved in music, then try it out. you know, even if it's just picking up a simple harmonica, or not that harmonicas are simple, they're actually kind of complex, but you can play some really cool simple things on them, or a recorder or an egg shaker. You can start anywhere really. And I think the more that we as a society and as individuals engage with music and other art forms, I think the better we will all be. So, you know, it can create a lot of fear, and that's totally okay and understandable and to be expected. But just try to go out there and find something that interests you to do, and try it out, even if it's just, you know, putting on your favorite song, taking an egg shaker and shaking along with it. Doesn't matter if you're out of time, but just do your best and have fun. And I think, or even just dance to it, you know.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I think music is also meant to be danced to, so that's also a beautiful way of interacting with it. So
Absolutely.
just say go for it and have fun, because it is about fun, and you can be surprised about what you can do.
Those are very inspiring words. Very inspiring.
I deeply believe it. So
I can tell.
I want everyone to be able to experience music in the way that I do, and many people do. So,
And it's those are magical moments when you're with other people, and you're
yeah.
all in that same space together, like, and you're all feeling it, and even people witnessing and listening can, like, those are powerful,
Yeah,
magical moments. Yeah.
it is. And some of my favorite moments in my life are moments like that. And I think it's a way of really just being able to process emotion, to have a better understanding of ourselves and others. It's also a form of language as well, and that's something that I experienced, you know, traveling throughout Southeast Asia and Thailand. That even if I couldn't speak the same language as someone else, I could still play music with them, and so we could communicate on this a whole other level. And so it, yeah, I really think it's a powerful thing, and for me, it's a way forward to expand and, you know, increase our connection and community as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
So I think maybe, if you're okay with it, are you okay with doing another jig or another?
Sure, I can. Let me see. Thank you.
Now, I wonder if it affected your microphone.
I don't know. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
No.
Yes. It's just a little bit quieter.
It probably adjusts too, because it's violin is a very loud instrument in general, so it probably changes its response to it. Stimulation.
Well, I think that we're probably gonna wrap up. I'm pretty sure you can hear me okay. I just thank you so much, Josiane, for this. You've given me goosebumps. You've inspired me. I know that, you know, someone will listen to this, and maybe they won't hesitate grabbing that egg shaker next time they're somewhere.
Just grab that egg shaker or anything. Honestly, because you have to go out and buy an egg shaker, and maybe that's not accessible. You can even take a container, like a small container that you have, that you maybe got donair sauce in, and you can put some rice in it, and you can use that as a shaker. So you can go to your kitchen right now and get one. And so I think anyone can do that, and they can do it right now. they just put on their favorite song and just play along with it. I think that could create a lot of joy.
Yeah, your voice is so low right now. I wish I could hear everything that you're saying.
Well, it's a good learning for using instruments on Zoom.
Yeah.
But
Well, we will definitely talk again soon.
absolutely.
And I hope that you have an easy evening. Just maybe you can take the night off and just, you know, peace out, watch a Toronto Maple Leafs game, maybe.
I appreciate that suggestion. But yes, I am done for the evening. I've worked very hard today, so it's time to do some rest. Maybe play some music, probably.
Thank you so much. And we're just going to do our loving kindness meditation and then we'll probably end for today. But thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you, Margaret. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Take care and please be well.
You as well.
Okay. Okay, Kate, I'm going to do our loving kindness meditation. That was awesome. Now all I can hear in my mind is the violin, and it's beautiful. It's beautiful. Oh, I almost feel like, you know, sometimes you listen to a great piece of music and you get a rush or almost like a high off of your brain, like you've got endorphins, and I might not say the right thing, so I won't say anything else, but you've got stuff firing off in your brain. I'm sure Josiane and Kate would probably know the correct terms for those things. And if we could get Kate on camera, she would share that information with us. As you know, we're still working on getting Kate on camera. Okay. So before I do the loving kindness, I just want to say another heartfelt thank you to Josiane for her sharing some of her wisdom, her inspiration, her talent, her knowledge, experience, all that. I greatly appreciate it. And I know we're going to have a jam together, and I know you're going to be back on the show. Okay, so for the next minute and a half or 2 minutes, just put all your worries and all your stresses up on the shelf. And you can pick them back down when we're done with this loving kindness meditation. Just allow your breathing to slow down. Just allow it to be natural. And you don't need to control it in any way. Hear the sounds in the room around you. Begin to notice any tension you might be holding. And as your breathing naturally slows down, begin to feel any tension you may be holding. Begin to feel that start to drain away from your eyes, your face, through your neck, your shoulders, and down your arms. Feel any tension drain like a liquid down through your body and out through your toes. Now begin to feel your body fill up with love. Imagine a loving white light entering your feet, traveling up to your stomach, to your chest and your arms. Feel it almost bursting through your heart, your fingers, and through the crown of your head. When you feel embraced in that love, silently repeat the following words to yourself. May I be free from all harm. May I be safe and protected. May I be free from all suffering. May I be happy. May I be free from all disease and physical pain. May I be healthy and strong. And may I be able to live in this world happily, peacefully, joyfully, and with ease. Now turn your thoughts to this vast world, this huge world with all its living creatures. Continue to feel that love in your body as you silently say, may all beings be free from all harm. May all beings be safe and protected. May all beings be free from all suffering. May all beings be happy. May all beings be free from all disease and physical pain. May they be healthy and strong. And may all beings be able to live in this world happily, peacefully, joyfully, and with ease. Send your love as far out around the world as possible. And just imagine that energy traveling through the earth. Continue to feel that love centered around your heart. Feel the weight of your feet on the floor, feeling yourself in this moment, in the now. Carry this feeling with you to the rest of your day. And when you are ready, you may slowly open your eyes. There. Okay. No plank planks. We don't need any plank planks with the dishes. Okay, so that concludes our show for December 1st. We will be back next Wednesday, December 8th. Hopefully Vida will be back. And as I mentioned, we'll have Sean Leonard here. And we'll also hopefully be able to show some photos of the auction items that we're going to have running next week from the 5th to the 12th. Thank you all for coming, for joining us, for hanging out. Thank you for the chat comments. That was wonderful. And please take care of yourself and take care of each other. And be well. Bye-bye.